what about what do you think about the major difference between Republicans and Democrats on the issue of unwed mothers having children? Well, like I said earlier, 78% of Republicans think that the growing number of children born to unwed mothers is a big problem, whereas only 51% of Democrats say the same thing. So what do you guys think about that?
Too many Democrats seem to say the same thing. I'm disappointed that it's 51%. That's ridiculous. Again, the same reason before. The only reason it's a problem is because of the financial disadvantages. If these women were financially stable and then decided, hey, I want to have a kid on my own, that would be perfectly, fantastically fine.
Right. Well, now here's kind of an idea for the Republicans that are against children being born to unwed mothers. How about you help pay for birth control? How about you promote contraception?
Oh, yeah, of course. The same people who are against single mothers and unwed mothers and whatever the hell are against
pro-life.
Abortion, are pro-life, are anti-conception, which is also a contradiction, because if you're anti-abortion, you should be pro-contraception.
You're right, and that should make sense. Daniel, did you have something to say?
Yeah, for one, is what they're talking about. This will completely destroy the young individual in the relationship, or is because people at that young age are basically they're molded by what they learn and what they see. If one member of the household is a complete asshole, they're better off not knowing them.
Agreed. I definitely agree.
As far as an economic standpoint goes, well, the Democrats, Republicans, that don't mean a goddamn thing. There's people that are socially, fiscally conservative, socially liberal but fiscally conservative, hence libertarianism. They have an issue with women having children they cannot afford to pay for. That is what they disagree with.
And who gets stuck paying for that is the taxpayer.
Yes, that's pretty much it. If you're making $60,000 to $100,000 a year and you want a kid, have at it, hoss. If you can't afford to have a child, don't have one.
Right.
But I mean, the thing is that to me there's like the reason there's a point that's missed. It's look, this 78% of Republicans don't like the idea of women not having children out of wedlock is a big problem. Yeah, but it depends on what kind of a problem you're talking about. If you're saying a social problem, then you know what, you could make the argument that it's a social problem. But if you're saying it's like a political or governmental problem that the government needs to fix, then I think you're totally wrong. But I could understand if you have the opinion that or if you think that this would be if things could turn out better for these individuals, then it would help their kids. I understand like that point of view, right? But I'm not going to base policy on it. Like they lose me when they say, oh, it's this policy that's making women hate men, and that policy would keep them together. Like they always want to do something weird about it. I think that's the real problem. Like I don't care if they have the opinion, and I don't care if I forgot what number of Democrats have the opinion. It's just, why do you always want to do something like ridiculous about it? Like my parents didn't get along. My dad's not a bad guy. They just didn't get along. Like there's no reason that the government should force them to stay together. You know what I mean?
Well, I agree, and here's something that you would think that Republicans are more of in favor, because really, what could they do? What could these Republicans do to, since they don't like the growing number of children being born to unwed mothers, what could they realistically do about it? They can't do anything. Maybe they can punish poor people by taking away, I don't know, things that help these women, like welfare benefits, which obviously they would love to get rid of, right?
And that's what they're getting at, I think. That's what they want to do.
And you think that's kind of the total goal, is to get rid of? Well, obviously, we're incentivizing these these women to go out and
have babies,
have children. when they can't afford them. So we can't, it's that welfare state. We gotta cut that.
Because
right?
the $400 in child support and the $300 in food stamps is so worth getting pregnant and excreting another human from your pelvis.
That sounds
but
horrible.
You also got to remember and the thing is, like you could argue that some people, like, it's a ridiculous argument, but like that the benefits of being a single mom that you get from the government are awesome, which I'm not saying they are, but according to the Supreme Court, there are over 4,000 unique benefits to being married. So, like, isn't the system already set up to try and get people to get married, and it's not working?
Yeah.
So
the system actually is skewed for married people. You get a lot of tax breaks, you get a lot of benefits and stuff. So the government is really kind of, if you try to be a single parent, you know what I mean, you're already kind of having the system against you. And I read an article earlier that said essentially the same thing, that, hey, single people are kind of demonized in a way that the system is set up. It's not set up to help single parents, but it's more set up to help people who are married. And with that